I've been waiting for the stock market to rise.
Joking sensations make me feel the pleasures of a normal man. New sensations spare the insults leaving for another day.
Waiting for the sun to get out of my eyes.
Feeling, take the shock away.
Last into the sunrise.
Rooted by time. And resentment rises high, but emotions
And we're changing our ways. Would tear us apart again. Won't you tell me the way I'm yours? Respect your soul. Love will tear us apart again. Trying to find, looking for that girl. "5'10" brunettes. Love will tear us apart again. Silence. Do you guys like Joy Division? Anyone a fan? Joy Division's namesake is a brothel for Nazis during World War II. So that's kind of that's a cool name. You know, it's a cool name. I can't even see the market because the light is so bright. I'm not at my office. It's like staring into the sun. You know? Ugh. But I listened to my friend has one of those cool stereos. I don't know what they're called. I didn't look this up. I didn't do any background. I just casually wanted to stream because I was finding it hard to see. I said, I like the music. Then I was like, the sun. Maybe I'll just share it with you guys. And what are those special audio things with the catheter, like tubes? You know, the tube audio. And you put it in, it lights up like a light bulb, and like they're really expensive, or they can range from like ridiculously expensive to more reasonable. But it's like for people that actually care about their music. My friend's father bought one of those, and I was at her place last night listening with her dad. I always find it difficult to hang out with a father at his house with their daughter who I'm not engaged to, but he knows I'm sleeping with them. I just find that at a certain point, if you're not married, that you have a girlfriend, the father must hate you. He doesn't, but some sort of like weird Asian culture thing of like honor and like samurai rules about my daughter is almost 28. You must protect her. She has no choice. She is spoiled, and you must protect her because she is no good. They call that like a woman over 30. Like it's worse than spinster. It's like some really horrible pejorative. I almost should like put on a hat. But it's fine, Same thing with like any pornographic or intimate scenes in a movie, but your grandparents are in the room. It's like they're your grandparents for a reason. They get what's going on, but it makes you feel so uncomfortable. Sex scenes and old people, it's just like it's like this is. You almost feel like they're children, and that you can't expose them to such filth because they're innocent. Even though biologically speaking, in the framework of time, they're your grandparents because. Let's see here. Can we get D-Wave to fall under 20? That would be great. Massive drop in SMCI here, back down to a normal range. I mean, you're starting to look at, if you change gross margins for super micro, hyperscaler, what am I saying? Data center. Like the 8% gross margins, if you just take that out to like 2033 and you keep their growth rate around 20%, dropping down precipitously like around 2029 to like 15, then to 10 in the final few years before it becomes like a legacy company, and your maturity is like -1, so 0.99, taking the cash flows through the growth period out to infinity, terminal value. You're still talking about like a $97 stock. And that's like a really decent conservative basis. Because you have to imagine that the concept of data centers, aside from car fleets and the ingenuity of Elon saying every car can be a floating data center and self-cooling because of the coolant in the car, that's kind of cool. Because the compute power of artificial intelligence, self-driving cars will just the chips will be too powerful for the car, so they'll have excess capacity to compute iterations or what have you in a network effect. And they might even be advantageous in terms of just locations, because you have these fixed data centers, but you have cars that can go anywhere. You usually almost make money in terms of a depreciation rebate by having like cybercabs in Milwaukee or South Dakota. You see what I mean? So instead of like when you go on to like a DigitalOcean instance, you pick San Francisco or like New York City. I feel like Helen fucking Keller right now. A little early. Might go to LA tomorrow. I haven't decided. I shouldn't have bought that little bit of SMCI. My rule was I would not buy it until it's sufficiently over 35. But around 34 I bought some, and that was a mistake. A little overzealous. It's a scary market, isn't it? It's pretty scary. It's a scary market. Look at Fresh Networks just getting pummeled. I have a position, and it's much higher than $9 a share. So ouch. Deep inside buying. Sometimes when investment banks and hedge funds are looking to allocate capital, they work to push down and drive down the prices of things before interest rate policy in the macro world aligns so they can get the max value. That's what I suspect is happening, because you're trading at book value and you have growth and you're almost EBITDA positive. Like you're neutral. Like, your net income is flat. Okay. This is like a really silly thing to be trading around book value. It's almost ridiculous. I think book's like 7 or 8 for them. It might be 4 to 6 if I'm wrong, but still, that's very low for a SaaS company. You might not think software is the future, but cloud services, data center, cloud, that's still going to be a thing. That's still going to be a thing. Maybe everyone will have their own cloud at home through like Mac Minis that will be like cheaper. Maybe. I don't know. they'll use like Mac Mini servers at their house, maybe. But I think people are still going to pay like a number. I got an email from Gmail the other day saying that I have to pay them, otherwise they're going to like not let me use my email account anymore. I'm like, shit, I got a lot of content I have to delete then. What I think was happening is my iPhone photos were being backed up into my Google, so I was like saving them twice, which is unnecessary. Oh my god, I literally just look like a white ghost. Okay, well this is silly. Oh, so much better. How's that? I had quesadillas last night. You can see it in my face. I can feel it in my fingers. I can see my fat face. I had quesadillas. Now the problem with the quesadillas is that I'm not supposed to have them when I'm on the I'm dieting, trying to get down and lose this and ascend. But also on the high vitamin D diet. Not supposed to have calcium. So today I'm not going to have any vitamin D. I might take a break from it, just because I haven't had the blood work, and I can have kidney failure and die and not be able to stream anymore. That would be bad, I guess. From your perspective, from my perspective, I would miss it. My little friend's dog, my cats, long walks. Mixing French fries and mashed potatoes together. That's about it. What else we got? We got it's just $20 mark on that quantum D wave. It's just does not want to go down. Let's look at the SPY on a weekly, just see where we are, because I'm trying to look at like a bigger chart. What would be healthy? You know what would be really healthy, like super duper healthy, if all the gains from 2020 were effectively wiped out, right? So you have this like let me see if I can like, yeah, you go like, I don't know, 660 would be nice. 660, maybe like going back to 6,000 would be awesome. Somewhere around there. 620, that would be really cool. You can see the money flow fading here. Like there's not a lot of action right now. It's kind of scary, actually, if I'm being absolutely frank. If I'm being absolutely frank, the market looks scary as fuck right now with the macro situation, with Iran, with Russia and China just getting fucked over left and right from the manifest destiny policies of land grabs and asset allocation for the United States government through proxies. You've got Maduro, you've got Javier Milei, who's basically just a sycophant for the West, and lithium reserves being protected and kept away from China. It's just like, it's never ending. And it's like, when is China going to do their part? When are they going to flex? Maybe they don't believe that like classical economics, when it comes to like land or assets like that are physical, tangible, matter as much in the war, in the soft war, the hot war even. The hot war is digital. The asset allocation is more like energy than it is traditional energy. It's more like the digitization of like nuclear power to assess the kind of like the scaling of technological advance, not like petroleum, not a natural gas per se, which could power those systems. Maybe China never felt that the largest known offshore natural gas and oil reserves off of Venezuela was ever going to be theirs in the first place. Maybe they're thinking longer term. They could easily just say, you have it in theory. You've now like kicked out Maduro, but you still have to actually take the oil and the gas out of the ground, and we could sabotage that with a hypersonic missile underwater. You know, it's almost like in The Sopranos where Tony lets his uncle become the head, so he takes all the heat. It's like, we'll let you have the headlines, but like, this is just, you know, silliness. The U.S. loves to play this propaganda war of like, we're the good guys and everyone else is the bad guys. Look, we're trying to make a truce with Ukraine. We're trying to like come to an agreement, and these Russians are just being ridiculous. We're the good guys. It's never ending. I do think it's funny after the Epstein files have dropped that the ADL and the kind of like the anti-Semitism movement has been very quiet. It's like very silent when it comes to any criticism because it's almost overwhelming. If you play the cognitive dissonance game at this point, you actually exacerbate the rhetoric of like, what the fuck is this guy? Where do you get his money? Is the CIA and Mossad working together to like basically find rich people that have made something of themselves like naturally without help, and they want to control them? Like within the system that is corrupt, they like want to control these people that popped up and became very powerful. And then at the same time, synthetically astroturf people like Jeffrey Epstein, who's not stupid, but winning Powerball tickets for, I think it was 80, or I read one where it was 85 million in New Mexico. The other was like 41 million. What the, no one does that. You become a school teacher, then a hedge fund guy, then you win the lottery. Hey, you know what you should do? You should like shoot someone on camera and see if you get away with it. Just to test it, you know? He probably did. That's probably going to drop too. He's like murdered people and got away with that too. He probably got the blessing of the Pope. It's like, I feel like it's so early for streaming. It's like a radio disc jockey. Welcome to, hold on. You're listening to 95.5 Bubba Fat FM. Welcome in. Come on down to the zone. We're in the doldrums of January in the S&P 500. We're just in a trailing kind of up and down, Mark. What do you think? That's right, Bubba Fat. We're just nothing's happening. I think the market's waiting for a new Fed chair. We have the macroeconomic uncertainty around the world. What is China going to do in response to the Maduro overthrow? What's going to happen with Taiwan? Not that it matters in terms of actual semiconductors. You have TSMC opening a factory in Arizona in the United States and multiple fabs around the world. Intel being basically propped up by the U.S. government as a nationalized company indirectly. But in terms of just like propaganda, like the actual rhetoric on paper, scoreboard, China and Russia are losing the kind of optics game, as if that means anything. It might not. So we'll see what happens. But the market seems uneasy. And you can see the money flows into the SPY here have been dropping precipitously from early January. So kind of an inverse January effect. John, what an astute observation. Thank you. Well, I know the radio guy's more like, yeah, I can't, 98.7, 28.54, we're top of the hour traffic and weather, you know, something like that. I love that movie, This Is the End or something, like the end of the world where the Teslas are like hijacked and are just like running into each other. That's kind of neat. It's interesting if this is like a simulation where it's a biological it's a terrarium of biological and like in spirit. Like we are like more than our like physical frame, and like every so often the aliens want to reset, but they do that with a cataclysm, not with like shutting us off from the matrix from in like the real world that we our bodies are in a vat or something like that. They just like turn off the switch. Not like that. It's more gruesome. It's more gruesome. Our little doggies die from like a giant asteroid hitting. It's very sad. But maybe our doggies have spirits. My my Asian friend, my paramour, was like, dogs don't go to heaven. She's autistic. So she's like, just so you know. I was like petting her dog that I love. She's like, just so you know, the dog's not coming with us. And I'm like, that's a very autistic thing to say. That's why autistic people, when their kids get hit like she did, they don't mean anything by it. They say that, they have no concept of how mean that is or how upsetting it is. And then you explain it to them, they're like, I'm just stating facts. Why are you so mad at me? It's like they have no idea. It's theory of mind. They have no concept of how what they say might affect you. But they are very emotional about their own like internal world. But they have no preceptive view. If you watch a movie with one of them, they tend to like horror movies. It's the only ones they can understand. Dialogue, no. I'm going to watch Phantom Thread or a Daniel Day-Lewis flick or like something, heavier. They just have no idea. Maybe she liked Fellini. I don't know. She might think it's like surreal or something. But they don't get it. Such a sweetheart, though. Oh, we popped back up. What popped up? What moved up a little bit here? Something moved. What did? Trying to figure this out. What popped? Can't tell. Something went up a decent amount for me in my portfolio, and I can't tell what it is. Weird. That's so strange, huh? Yeah, I have no idea. It's weird. Oh, fresh. Okay, it's down so much. It's down so much. It was at 9. It popped up to 9:36. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Ah, okay. See, earnings is coming February 10th for them or something. Dennis Woodside, I think is the CEO. There's been some insider buying of heavy note in this month, in November of last year. Stock's worth 17 to 20 in my opinion. So I have to be like so wrong on this stock, like slowing growth, blah blah blah. But it doesn't matter in my opinion. The slowing growth, like you have customers, you have subscriptions that are sticky. You're facing a wall of competition. You're a great mergers and acquisitions opportunity waiting to happen. Someone just wants to buy you at a lower multiple because your growth is slowing. So there's a lot of benefits to these, but a lot of investment banks, hedge funds mainly, are basically, I could be the head of Fresh Networks and want my stock down and hire a hedge fund to push it down. You could do that. It happens all the time. It's like, is that ethical? I don't think that it is, but it happens. They want the stock down, they make it go down. A stock like collapsing by 30-40% headed into earnings is really not a good sign, but sometimes it is a good sign. I'd have to be so wrong. If you're trading around book or 1.3x book and you're headed into earnings, what residual value do you think you're worried about? You're basically, your upside is so high because your assets are real. There's a market value for them. Your cash flows are real. There's a market. If you're trading at cash, net cash, and subtract the debt, let's pull this up real quick because this is important for everyone to understand when it comes to like investing. $21 per share. Net cash is 850. How many shares outstanding? Okay, so as of 3Q, you've got 286 shares outstanding. So just on cash, you're trading at $3. So the actual cash value, the net cash value after debt's gone, is $3. Remember, it's trading at 9. So 3 times cash is pretty fucking low. What is the burn rate? There is no burn rate. They're actually basically like cash flow positive, just like a smidge. Okay, so then what do you do? That was a junk mail. Now we look at the book value, which some people say doesn't matter for tech companies. I actually disagree. If intangible value is low, it's only $227 million, it's it's a young company, then I think book value actually makes a lot, because you have like your deferred revenue, you have these like assets here, and you want to look at them net your total liabilities. So if you look at the book value is effectively the cash value. It's basically trading at 3 times. So the shares out, the shareholder equity is the assets minus the liabilities, and that's like 843,600,000. So you're basically, it's the same. You're trading at 3 times cash. Book value 3x. What is the standard SaaS book value multiple? I'm going to say it's probably like 8 times ish. But let's see. But if you did do book, no, I don't care about the recurring revenue. I don't care. I care about the average valuation multiples. Oh, we can go look this up real quick. Hold on. Hold on one second. Multiples, where's book? There we go. So price to book value, this is, again, they think that it should be recurring revenue multiple of 1 to 2x. Software, yeah, it should be 9 or 10. So you're telling me that it's trading at 3 times. It should be 6 times. That should be like trading at way more. So 9 times, forgive me, 9 times 8 would be 4,500. So it should be trading at a lot more. Basically 10x. So arguably 30, 25. Now my discounted cash flow model says 21. If you go from reoccurring revenue for the year, just on the prospectus for 2025, looking forward, we'll say, let's call it like 2x. What is that? That's, so we have, yeah, okay. So basically 2,000. So 2,000 divided by, what did I say the shares outstanding were? 293, 280, 286. $7 a share. That's what they think it should be. Really? That's it? No. Oh, 1 to 12x. Okay. Yeah. Recurring revenue multiple. Yeah, it's a huge gap there. Let me go back to the data set for Damodaran. This is not how I do it. I'm just giving you an example. Multiples. Revenue multiple. Revenue. Does he have a rev multiple here? Huh. I don't see it. Well, whatever. Okay, so nice little reversal. Amen to that. Heavy mine. Definitely some blocks coming in here. You only have 6 days left. Thereabouts the earnings. And then looks like SMCI is recovering back close to 34. What do I like here? What do I like? I don't know. I was really hoping D-Wave would fall below 20. A little concerned that it won't. I have to cover around 19. I mean, my cost basis is 19 on the short. So I've had it run up on me at over 30. I've just like held it. Might be a good idea to cut that loose eventually. Is anyone actually listening to this at this hour? Let's see. I feel kind of warm.
Of time to watch Twitch, and not 5.
But is she memeing at the...
Line between North Korea, and I'm living in this ocean area. And I'm living in this ocean area. And I'm living in this ocean area.
Yeah, no one. Oh, this guy does. Hiskey Talkity? What are you doing? Interesting. Ooh, I feel so warm all of a sudden. Oof. So what else is going on? I'm gonna cut this short. It's so early. I have some. I feel warm. I like warm orange juice and a bagel. All right. Bye.